So thanks very much, Phil, for that introduction, and good morning, everybody. I am the low carbon technical specialist for Green Tech South, which is housed within the University of Portsmouth. And I'm here today along with my colleague Wilson to talk about the two ERDF projects, Emphasise and Low Carbon SOLENT. So to begin with, I just wanted to touch on the eligibility and state aid guidelines for both projects. The support is available for any English-based SME, which is defined here on the slide by staff headcount or company turnover or balance sheet totals, along with any charities that are also involved in any economic activity. So this support, although is free to the business, is funded through each business's de minimis allowance for the energy efficiency or the innovation grant support, or through the business's GBA 28 allowance for the business support. It's worth noting then that it's vitally important that any potential funding applied for will not take any businesses over these allowances. So moving on to Emphasise, it's, as stated, it's an ERDF funded business support project that aims to reduce carbon emissions in our region by 2,000 tonnes. Now this will be delivered by combining the expertise of the University of Portsmouth and Winchester and the Clean Tech Cluster, Green Tech South. So the CO2 savings will be achieved through a number of free energy efficiency audits, which will be conducted by GEP Environmental. And this can then be followed up by energy efficiency grants of 36% of total eligible project costs. So Green Tech South will also be offering innovation audits for companies working on low carbon innovations. And again, these can be followed up with grants of up to 36%. So here we have an infographic just highlighting the process involved with the energy efficiency work package, which begins with making contact with the Green Tech South team. This is then followed by an optional but highly recommended energy efficiency audit, and then the actual grant application process itself, with subsequent panel review. Any successful grant awards will be paid out on completion of any grant awarded. So typical but not exhaustive eligible energy costs include LED lighting, which has proven to be a popular choice due to its potentially high CO2 savings and low payback periods, PV, air source or ground source heat pumps, electric vehicles, and electric vehicle charging points. So just to touch on a couple of successful energy grants. First up, we have Bowtie Construction, who are a sustainable construction company based in Dorset. Now they have begun to replace their existing diesel fleet with electric vehicles following an audit by GEP. As you can see from the slide, they were awarded £11,500 towards the total costs, with CO2 calculated savings of 48 tonnes over the life of the two vehicles. Now here we can also see a quote from Bowtie Construction's Innovation Director Haggot, explaining how the energy audit helped to highlight how replacing the first two vehicles with electric vehicles would help to put them on the road to accomplishing their vision of reducing their operational carbon footprint. Next up, we also have Morgan Furniture, who are based in Emsworth and installed £20,000 worth of LED lighting on a £7,500 grant to reduce CO2 by 60 tonnes per year. I just want to touch back on Guy's presentation earlier about student placements, and Green Tech South are proud to have 3 University of Portsmouth placement students employed on both of the two ERDF projects. So we have Wilson and James, who both work on the low carbon SOLENT, and we also have our digital marketing student, Erin, who has created the 2 detailed infographics, helping to explain the processes through the ERDF projects. So as mentioned earlier, Emphasise also offers innovation grants, and as you can see, it's nearly identical to the energy grant process, with the addition of the pitching sessions, which Wilson will talk about in more detail later on. So one of our early successful applicants is Airhead, who are developing a high quality pollution mask in an attempt to encourage sustainable travel in highly polluted areas. Following on from their successful pitch, they are now in development of their product and hope to be on sale in early 2021. Again, we have a quote from one of the co-founders, Alex, which is highlighting the business benefits brought on by the grant award and also working closely with the Green Tech South team. So that's all from me. And before I pass over to Wilson, I'd just like to share my details if anybody would like to get in contact to discuss any of what I've just talked about in more detail, or you can submit an expression of interest through greentechsouth.com, where you can also join up to the Green Tech South network for free. Thank you all for listening. I'll pass you over to Wilson.
Thanks, Matt. I'm just going to share my screen with everyone if that's all right. So hopefully you can all see that.
Yep.
Brilliant. So as Matt said, my name is Wilson Barlow and I'm a business innovation advisor at Green Tech South. And as Matt also mentioned previously, I am on a one-year placement from the university. I'll be talking to you about our previous presentation sister project, Low Carbon SOLENT. Low Carbon SOLENT is extremely similar to the emphasized project, with its funding also coming from the ERDF. Our project aim is to support clean, innovative, clean growth SMEs with a variety of expertise and opportunities our team possesses. LCS also has the same eligibility requirements for support, of which Matt touched on his previous slides. So what exactly can we offer? Ooh. Sorry. Our first offering to SMEs is innovation support grants. These grants offer SME projects funding of up to 36% of eligibility costs and can be match funded with other eligible grants. We can also offer postgraduate student projects and provide SMEs with access to the wealth of knowledge based at the University of Portsmouth. Project proposals submitted by SMEs interested in the programme are selected and completed by the students at the university completely free of charge. Not only does this provide SMEs with valuable research for their project, but also valuable contacts within the university. Finally, we touch on innovation support events. In 2021, the LCS project will be hosting a series of events and workshops around different topics benefiting innovative SMEs such as innovation methodologies, open innovation techniques, and commercialization routes. So as similar to emphasis, we also offer innovation R&D grants and have a similar infographic to show this. I will now walk you through the stages of gaining a grant for a small SME. So stage one is to fill out an EOI form for Green Tech South support, of which is in the chat for those who may be interested. This form also consists of a few basic questions and is simple and easy to complete. Stage two is to meet with our business-facing team to discuss with your project and grant proposal and ask any questions you may have. These have recently been taking place over Zoom and Google Meets due to coronavirus. Our next step is to complete necessary paperwork behind the application with the help of our team to guide you through it. Stage four is to prepare your presentation for our project selection panel. And again, at this stage, our team will provide you feedback and support to ensure that your project has the best possible chance of success. The last step is to present to our project selection panel where the success of the project is decided. And I'll talk about this panel more later. So what examples do we have? Low Carbon SOLENT R&D grant applicant Blue Dolphin won a total grant award of $40,000 to help their R&D for their low carbon aviation project, aiming at making electrical flight a reality. This money has allowed Blue Dolphin to bring their innovation project closer to market. Furthermore, Dan from Blue Dolphin was extremely happy with the support he received from the Green Tech South team, as seen in the quote below. So another example of a successful grant application is FUSSY. FUSSY have designed an innovative refillable deodorant, and they aim to use our funding to help reduce millions of tons of waste created by one-use disposable deodorants and help the world get more fussy when it comes to their hygiene routine. With the help of an extremely successful Kickstarter raising well over £100,000, FUSSY will be using our grant to make a big impact. So, as touched on before, we also offer student projects, and another infographic here shows the process behind them. The postgrad student project is similar to the grant process. The SME fills out an application form, of which is reviewed and implemented by an academic at the UAP. Once the academic reviewing the application finds a relevant student, the SME works with the student to complete their proposal. This process is shown on the infographic seen on screen. So what's an example of one of these student projects? Well, Smart Lube used the University of Portsmouth's postgrad student projects to test their innovation. The testing took place at the Eco House at the university and provided Smart Lube with valuable data for free. The pictures show the team installing their project to the house and presenting their projects to academics at the university. As briefly mentioned before, the project selection panel is pivotal in an SME's grant success. The SMEs present their project to our panel of academics and local business representatives who score their product. In the case of a high enough score, SMEs are awarded the funding they have requested from the LCS programme. Even in the case that a business is not successful at this stage, they do gain valuable feedback and context, as well as potential to return after the suggested changes have been implemented. Thank you for your time, and if you want to contact us, our details are here.
Thanks very much, Will.